Hey Collective and Soul Tribe, happy Thursday. All right, guys, today is Thursday, March the 26th. Okay, the time right now is 8:12 a.m. and also angel number 808 could resonate for some of you. So I will be doing angel numbers later on today with my other decks just to see what you guys might need to know when it comes to clarity and things like that, right? Also, I'm hoping to post on my blog for today, if not today, hopefully tomorrow, because I was working on the full moon messages for my blog to, just so that you guys can kind of have an idea what to expect or what you guys may already know, and also just kind of putting in rituals that you guys can maybe use. You don't have to use those, but it kind of just sparks the idea that if you guys were thinking about doing rituals or manifesting or just doing like, for example, vision boards, that could be also significant. So let's see what you guys might need to know for today. All right, guys, it's baby Friday technically. So yeah, let's jump into it. Okay. But I hope you guys are doing well, right? I know that for some of you guys, because I always say that the messages are timeless. So even if there is an angel number that's mentioned in the video, even if it's not that specific time, it's just clarity and awareness that if you were seeing those angel numbers, then that's confirmation, right? Like sometimes when you're watching a video, it may be the same time, right? Like it's a coincidence, but it's not going to be all the time. It's usually just like a heads up, just to kind of give you clarity to say, hey, you're not alone. We know that you see what you're seeing. You're not crazy, basically, So let's jump into it. Let's see what you guys might need to know, okay, for today. So Spirit, Universe, Source, what do you have for the collective at this time when it comes to what they need to know for March 26th? Divine, what do you have for the collective at this time? Please give them clarity and understanding. With or without this video, allow them to get understanding whether they see this. Even if they see the messages from somebody else, still allow them to receive clarity from whatever perspective it is. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay. It just came in slow motion. Like it just, So we have two cards here. We have here Ace of Cups, and then we also have the Devil. All right. So again, for some of you, when it comes to some of this energy, there's something about the Devil and Ace of Cups where you may feel like you guys are releasing the chains when it comes to certain things that are unhealthy. Unhealthy attachments. Doesn't matter what this unhealthy attachment is. It could be anything, okay? It could be materialism, it could be control, okay? It could be, debt for some other people. It could be certain addictions. Addictions don't have to be, drugs only. It could be working too much, right? Not getting enough sleep, that when they say like too much of something is enough, like you cannot overexert yourself when it comes to certain things. Even like when it comes to moderation, it's like it doesn't matter what you do in life. Like that is why we always say that there's good and bad and there's yin and yang, right? So even when it comes to that energy, it's like no matter what you do, doesn't matter what you eat, doesn't matter what you drink, it doesn't matter how you sleep, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Everything is always in moderation. If you have too much of something, it's never too good, right? So there's something about you when it comes to limitations or, when it comes to certain temptations, right? Like this could be also spending money that you don't want to spend, just using the money to maybe, stress. Shopping is also significant. Some of you may shopaholics, right? So things like that is very significant. It's like things that that you do a lot. It's like you trying to cut back on that or release that, whether it's a connection or it's something that you're doing, everything always needs moderation, right? So again, this could be Ace of Cups energy when it comes to you guys releasing, and also when it comes to anything that was unhealthy, okay? This could be certain patterns, okay? Certain thoughts, right? It doesn't have to be a person. It could be seen and unseen forces, right? And so some of you guys are moving forward. So 15, okay, equals 6. Okay, 6th house talks about health, wellness, you know, your daily routines, things of that matter. Okay, co-workers could be very significant, and, you know, service to other people. So even when it comes to certain things like business, right, there's something about even doing something that you enjoy doing, whether it's you being an entrepreneur, you doing a 9 to 5, whatever this is, okay? Even also the energy of some people releasing the chains when it comes to understanding that some of you guys are coming to the conclusion where it's like, why do I need to work? You know, it's not to say that you don't have to, right? Because bills got to get paid, right? But some of you guys, when it comes to that reality, it's like, but why do we work? Why do I need material? You know what I mean? Like, we have everything right in front of us. Why do we pay for water? Okay, it's like, so are we going to pay for air? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like things like that. So again, when it comes to you opening up your heart, some of you guys could have had your heart closed as well, whether this was friendships, romantic, group settings, whatever the case is, right? But you guys are stepping into something brand new. You guys are opening up your heart. Okay, this is emotional awakening for some of you, right? So for some of you guys, when it comes to breaking chains, whatever it is that you guys released, you guys are stepping into something brand new. This could be creativity. This could be your passions. Okay, new love and your intuition as well. Okay, when it comes to you having love for your inner knowing. Not everybody's like that. It takes some time to, you know, get to that place. But some people have love for their inner knowing, right? Even when it comes to the number 15, I didn't mention this, but I do mention it in my, you know, other messages or videos. There's something about, with the number 15, you guys could be healing relationships, okay? And these are heart-centered truths. Now, this could be in relation to family, and it doesn't have to be blood related, okay? Some friends can be considered your family, okay? There's some people that you may meet in your life that you consider as a family, okay? So it doesn't have to be blood related. And, you know, sometimes they say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes strangers treat you better than your own family. So if there was a dynamic where you guys are healing certain things, there is something about you healing when it comes to giving and receiving, okay, and you moving with heart-centered leadership. It's something also about the energy where when it does come to family, some of you guys may not want to be in this heart-centered type of, you know, leadership when it comes to that because of trust. Okay, there's something about your intuition, right, when it comes to trust. Even creativity is also significant. And, you know, even a financial opportunity, right? There's something about, you know, your passions, your creativity. Some of you may have water placements, but there is something new that you guys are moving into. And this could be your independence or just you focusing on something. Yeah, we have, you know, 8 of Pentacles, and then we also have Queen of Pentacles. So there is something about your skills, your talents, right? You being very generous about what it is that you do. Now, you could have really good business sense as well. Okay, 8th house, you know, with the 8 of Pentacles, this is about, you know, death and transformation. So there's something about you doing something creative or you stepping into something that's new, this new fresh energy. And because of your energy when it comes to your standards or you being committed, this is somebody that is putting in a lot of hard work. Okay, this is dedication, whether this is dedication to yourself or your partner's needs, but there is something about dedication when it comes to you accomplishing certain things, okay? Even when it comes to grounding, you staying grounded and focused so that you can master whatever this, you know, new thing that you guys are building. We have Queen of Pentacles. This talks about business for some of you. This is about you also being very welcoming, okay, comforting and sensible. So there's something about balance where even though, yes, you're emotionally awakened or there's something about emotional intelligence, you're also somebody who's very sensible when it comes to you being grounded, nourished, and also being able to nurture other people and yourself, right? So it's almost like that energy where it's like you needed to fill your own cup first before you could get to this place. Not everybody is at this place for some of you, right? Because it is a collective reading. Some people are moving forward, some people are still learning, you know, step by step. Nothing is wrong with that. Nobody's ever behind in life, right? The world that we see, the stage, okay, that we see wants you to feel like you guys are behind, but you're not behind. So it's almost like rushing people to get married, have kids, go to school, get a job, okay, like all these different things, right? Get a career, right? God forbid things don't work out the way it's supposed to, because, you know, not everybody lives the dream. Then what? You know what I mean? Then what? So people are not allowed to be creative, right? You know, people are not allowed to speak their mind when it comes to their emotions and how they feel about certain things. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, what's really fair? So you could be someone who, when it comes to certain situations, you could be very grounded, okay? Virgo energy could be very significant. At the bottom, we have Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is about you doing something that's emotionally fulfilling for some of you. And I did mention something about emotional intelligence as well, and compassion. So again, with the number 13, that equals 4. 13 again, 4. Okay, so angel number 444 or number 44 could be significant when it comes to like your roots. This could be your family. This could be parents, guardians, okay, even children, okay, women, okay. Feminine energy could be very significant, but when it comes to emotions, you are showing up as someone who is stable, okay, despite whatever you're dealing with, right? Because, you know, life will throw a bunch of curveballs, but you show up as somebody that will still try to find a way to stabilize yourself and anchor and ground yourself, you know? And don't feel bad if you're not able to ground yourself. Maybe there's just another way that you need to ground yourself. And maybe some of you guys are still learning to figure that out. And that's fine too. You know, it's like spirituality and healing on your journey. It's not a race, you know, it's not a race. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes understanding, you know. So yeah, awakened. There's something that you awaken to, okay, when it comes to, like I said, you releasing, breaking the chains, releasing, you know, those attachments, right? We also have the whisper. So this is you listening to your inner knowing, your intuition, right? And this is courage, stepping into that. Okay, so this is like you sparking a light when it comes to your inspirations, when it comes to you stepping into courage and understanding. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, I said step by step earlier, and step by step is showing up. Okay, so there's something about that energy where you are building either your courage, or even if you do have courage, you guys are moving forward when it comes to you being grounded in business or just being grounded in your life. It's like you're not allowing whatever adversities or, you know, just anything that just feels like it's trying to pull you backwards. You guys are basically not allowing that to happen. And if you guys do end up going backwards, for some of you, because like I said, not everybody is on the same path when it comes to their journey, right? So I got to give grace to everybody, right? Give ease and grace. Not everyone's on the same page, and that's okay, right? But you're still trying, you're still learning, you're still growing, and that's the whole point, right? So try not to beat yourself up too much when it comes to your courage. And it's almost like your body's wanting to do something, but then it's almost like your mind is saying something else. And that is why for some of you too, when it comes to learning to build that, it takes time, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So for those of you that are in that energy, it's like you guys did awaken, you guys are listening to your intuition, and you guys are still, you know, trying to move forward. For some of you, it's about you dealing with your awakening, listening to your intuition the entire time, and being courageous when it comes to you being welcoming and, you know, bringing in luxury, bringing in basically abundance, wealth, okay? Anything to do with like you growing, anything with the color green is also significant, but This is about you when it comes to you being stable and, you know, your emotions and you being able to show up. Okay, so you are nurturing, right? When it comes to like your abundance, you, confirmation with the horn, you are somebody who's just natural when it comes to being a caregiver or just bringing comfort, okay, into someone's energy, or this could be in your own energy as well. It's like you don't need other people to have comfort. You just have comfort alone, okay, with yourself, right? So intuition, okay, like I mentioned before, your intuition could be very significant. Okay, we have hunger, right? So there's something about that too where you may have a lot of hunger and drive, okay, when it comes to your craft, when it comes to what you're dedicated and committed to, okay, even when it comes to like your standards, like I said, you know, you could have a lot of quality over quantity, you know, for some of you. It's like you would prefer having quality over quantity any day, you know, even when it comes to friendships and relationships and family, friends, anything to do with that. It's like if you're going to be in connections or bonds with people, it's like you may show up as someone who has high standards. And yeah, it's okay to have high standards, but your high standards is different for somebody else. For somebody else, it could just be high standards, but to most people, it could just be the norm. You know what I mean? Like, there's just certain things that for some of you, so for some of you, there's something about your hunger and drive. Okay, you pushing and moving forward. It's like somebody trying to motivate themselves to take that leap of faith, right? And you finally taking that leap of faith and finally seeing things differently, you know, from a new perspective. So take what resonates with that. Movement, yeah. At the bottom, we have trust and balance. It's almost like, you know, having faith. I just said this too. Okay, some of you guys are learning to have faith. Okay, there's something about movement that is significant when it comes to, you know, your hunger, your drive. Okay, listening to your intuition is significant as well. Okay. Yeah, divine time. We have the number 41. So angel number 5 is significant too. 4 talks about stability. 1 talks about something brand new, so new beginnings. And so, you know, 4 and 1 equals 5, and this is change. Okay, being able to embrace this new beginning, this new experience. Okay, we have home. So coming home to yourself. Angel number 1010, filling up your own cup, right? So take what resonates with that. 10 talks about, you know, you feeling whole and what it is you're doing. So you guys could have ended a cycle so that you can start a new beginning. This is about also within the home space for some of you. And for some of you, this is about coming home to yourself. Okay, this is about also being in alignment with your body, your mind, and spirit, right? And also your purpose unfolding because you guys are in alignment for some of you when it comes to that energy. Yeah, courage, coming out twice. Okay, so yeah, 1010. Okay, 3 talks about creativity. 7 talks about inner knowing. Okay, inner knowing. This is about spirituality. Okay, awakenings when it comes to like your spiritual gifts. Okay, awaken. So yeah, take what resonates with that. At the bottom, we have the veil could be thinning. So there's something about you seeing things for what it is. Like I said, when it comes to perspectives, and also when it comes to seeing things like basically certain things that you normally don't see in your day-to-day, you are seeing it. And there's something about the energy too that it's almost like if you don't have that inner knowing or you can see with your third eye, you look crazy to other people, but you're not. Okay, what you're seeing is what you're seeing. It's like you're able to read between the lines. And it's also something to do with when it comes to mask. Some of you guys are able to see through people's mask, okay? And even when it comes to like certain personas and, you know, certain things like that, it's like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, you want to have a persona, but it's almost like sometimes people have a persona that is so far-fetched, right? For example, I'm not going to come on the internet and act like I have money and act like I'm all that in a bag of chips. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You've seen my car in my videos that I post, okay? I drive a Honda Element. Okay, like, let's be real. Like, I'm not one of those people who are like, I need the latest things. Okay, now gadgets, that's a different story. Okay, that's a different story for a different day. Gadgets and it's a crime. Okay, like anything to do with like the newest computer, the newest phone, the newest, anything new like gadgets, even games, like the newest game system. God forbid I have more than enough money than I need, you guys would see a whole collection of just games. Okay, or just gadgets, or like phones, like even Nokia phones, like those old school phones. I would be one of those people that like collect those kind of things. So even things like that too, where some of you guys, it could be doing something that you love to do, but you could be also worried about what other people think about you. Kapooey. All right, who cares? Like, do what makes you happy, you guys. Do what makes you fulfilled. Okay, it's like, I wouldn't be saying that to you if I never felt odd or awkward. Like, I'm a Cancer, okay? Like, Cancers feel odd most of the time when it comes to environments and certain spaces, because we can pick up on certain things. Any water sign, okay? I mean, all signs can pick up on things, but emotionally, yeah, there's certain things that water signs can pick up on, and we're like, peace out. Okay, we're like, deuces, get me out of here. Okay, so take what resonates with that too. There's something about going with the flow, movement, coming home to yourself. Okay, courage is also significant, stepping into that trailblazing energy. Okay, so let's see what else shows up. And also trusting yourself, right? It's like some of you may have a hard time trusting yourself or trusting your intuition, because it's something that's new for you, right? And that's no judgment, okay? That is just real, okay? Like, not everybody gets their intuition, activated, and everything is just like, in order. For some people, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of dark night of the soul. There's a lot. There's a lot. So, some of you guys could have went through that. Now you guys are moving forward step by step. You guys are being courageous. Whatever it is that you guys are being courageous about, be proud of yourself. It took you, it took you a while to get there. It didn't happen overnight. Okay. And for some of you guys are still, you guys are still trying, right? So when it comes to unlikely energy, there could be something when it comes to divine timing that could feel like it is unlikely. And this is why when it comes to trust, that is why I'm saying to you guys are probably trying to trust a situation that you cannot see the outcome. There's a reason why, like a lot of times in life, we may get dreams, we may get visions, we may get confirmations, we may get a lot of things, but we may not fully see where we are going in our next journey. And that's on purpose, because not everything is meant to be seen, right? So for some of you guys, like I said, when it comes to trust and courage, you may feel like certain things are just unlikely. It's like, when you feel like you're starting to lack or lose faith, don't, as easy as it seems or as it sounds, don't, right? Yeah, Spirit is saying wait. Okay, so there's something about waiting, okay, when it comes to maybe pausing and things like that. And by the way, I don't know what's going on upstairs. I think they're doing construction, guys, again. So I apologize if you guys hear that boom, boom, boom sound, because that was so random. Like, what? That is so random. Like, it just sounded like they dropped like a bulldozer or something. Child, they're always doing something in my building. Like, that's the only thing when you live in an apartment. That's the thing. It's like a catch-22. And I'm not complaining. I'm just calling it like I see it. It's like when you live in an apartment, it's because you're around so many different energies. So you could be absorbing other energies as well. That's crazy to me when I think about that too. And not only that, when you live in a house and you have like a neighborhood of other people, even that too. Listen, I've watched, okay, enough certain shows, like, those crime shows. I've watched enough of those crime shows to know, okay, that, fear thy neighbor. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough information for me. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so when it comes to energies too, you guys could feel a lot of energies. You guys can sense a lot of energies, right? But there is something though that you guys could be waiting on or needing to wait, okay, from the universe. Okay, and there's also something about asking for help from others. Okay, now this could be from your spirit team, your guides, people that you know, resonate with or you look to when it comes to like prayer and guidance, right? Or this could be real people, right? Like if you guys are trying to look for help when it comes to certain things, like maybe your personal growth or just asking for help when it comes to advice and things like that, that is something that you guys could be asking for help from others. Or even when it comes to like other people asking you for help, that could be very significant, okay? So take what resonates with that. It depends on, like I said, the situation or the dynamic. Everybody is, going through something different. But there could be something about you asking maybe your guides for assistance when it comes to you partnering up with the universe and that being heard, okay? We have within the next few weeks. That is why maybe you guys are needing to wait, or why the energy may feel kind of, a little shaky a little bit, where the foundation may not feel like it may last. But you guys have to remember that in order for a foundation or something to last, you still have to continue building, right? So take what resonates with that analogy, right? But there is something about continuing to keep building, continuing to push forward, even if it doesn't feel like it, right? So yeah, we have romance. That's very significant. Okay, so you could be not wanting to ask for help from other people when it comes to, romantic connections or just romantic situations, whether this is friends or not, right? But this is you choosing a new direction, right? So again, if you felt like there was something that was being on hold, right? Or there's something about you feeling like there's something unlikely. Now, either for some of you, this could have been a situation that you awakened to, and you guys could feel like, you know what, it's not going the way that I think it is, so I'm going to choose a new direction, okay? For some of you, this could be a situation that, whether romantic or platonic, romance could just be intimacy, right? There's something about you asking for help or somebody asking for help from others when it comes to how to choose a new direction, when it comes to a connection. Like, when someone's going to their spouse or their significant other's parents and they're like, look, I don't know how I'm supposed to move forward, but I would like to do X, Y, and Z, right? And those parents could be giving advice, or they could be telling them, this is how you deal with our daughter or our son or blah, 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 right? That could also be significant, like someone having like a conversation or a sit down and asking about maybe somebody when it comes to a situation, okay, and them choosing a new direction, or you sitting down with somebody, whether this is a friendship or not, and maybe within the next few weeks, because maybe you feel like something is not solid. And like I said, foundations are very significant, but it also takes time to build something. So no matter what the connection, no matter what it is, whether it's a home, a job, relationship, it takes time to build, right? But for some of you, you guys could want to build with other people, right? But it's finding the right people to build with. Because honestly, some people are shady, okay? But you guys could be choosing a new direction, okay? This could be romance, okay? Or this could be, when it comes to new connections that are like new, fresh light, you guys could be asking your angels, for clarity, okay? So let's see what else shows up before I end the messages. Yeah, so the situation will improve. And that's another thing too. It's like you could be wanting to choose a new direction, okay? And it's almost like it's unlikely, like it's not necessary for some of you when it comes to romance. So like, say you are in a connection with somebody, and like I said, like not everybody goes through heartbreak, not everybody has, bad relationships. Some people are in connections, but every connections has their ups and downs, or you guys go through things. So there is something about a situation, like I said, if it is a friendship or, a partnership or family or whatever the case is, there's something about a situation improving. And I'm not talking about, like I always say in my videos, somebody who's done you wrong to the point where like there's no return. I'm talking about like misunderstandings or, just you disagreeing with somebody else. And I don't mean like yelling and screaming and throwing things, and like I don't mean like things like that. That is toxic. knowing the difference between what is toxic and what is unacceptable is different than understanding that having an opinion that maybe there's just a different difference, right? And I'm not saying an opinion that is hurtful, okay, or malice. I mean, like, for example, somebody like talking about cars, something silly, you know, something silly like that. Like, oh, I like Maseratis more than Hondas, you know, like silly conversations like that. Something so dumb, right? And so there's something about the situation improving because maybe you guys did ask your angels for, guidance on how do I move forward, right? How do I move forward? How do I handle this situation? Is it even worth, working on the situation to move forward? And you guys are getting confirmation that, the situation will improve. Okay, like if you're feeling like things are unlikely, the universe is saying stop thinking like that, it's almost getting like a slap, like, like a little kid being disciplined, like on the hand, like, no, right? The universe is, basically saying don't think that way, right? And even if things didn't work out the way that you expected to, we always say that rejection is protection. Whether it's you on that end or the other person on that end, no matter how it works out, rejection is protection. All right, guys. But anyway, peaceful resolution at the bottom of the deck, and yes. Okay, so this is confirmation. Like, the energy could have felt rocky, could have felt weird, okay, could have felt uncertain. That's understandable, right? A lot of people are going through a lot of things, and a lot of times people do not, instead of sitting down and talking about what they're going through, confirmation with the horn just now, instead of doing that, a lot of times it's just projected. A lot of times people project a lot of, things onto other people that are just unnecessary. So instead of just sitting down and talking about certain things, a lot of times people just assume, right? And the saying, if you assume, you make an A out of yourself. Okay, so instead of assuming, it's like a lot of times you could sit down and try to talk to people about certain things and kind of pick their brain and understand the situation, not to manipulate, but to understand. And for some of you in this situation, for some that you were kind of just like, I don't know, there is a peaceful resolution. Okay, so keep being positive, keep trying to mentally cleanse, or keep yourself, steady when it comes to, movement and things like that, because there is something about the energy where maybe you guys could feel like there's a pull and a push type of energy. And, even if it's mentally and you guys were thinking a certain way, try your best to not go back into that type of energy. Choose a new direction, whether this is traveling, whether this is mentally, whether this is physically, okay? Whatever type of movement you guys are making, choose a new direction, choose yourself in a sense, but also choose happiness. You know what I mean? It's like I always say in my videos, we're already going through enough. Trust me, okay? The world is in turmoil. We see this. But at the same time, it's like, why allow that energy into your own energy as well? It's learning to have detachment and separate everything, where you can still care about certain things, but then you don't want it to get to a point where you're becoming mentally ill, for certain things that you cannot really, there's like not much you can do, right? The only thing that you can do is just speak up, protest, stand up for what you believe in, especially when it comes to your personal life, okay, your beliefs, whatever it is, right? But anyways, 33 on the timer. I'm going to end it here. All right, guys, thank you very much for the love and the support. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Follow me on TikTok and YouTube. My website is www.mysteriouslyunique.ca. You can check out my blog or book a reading. And yeah, hopefully whether today or tomorrow, I can get that blog posted for you guys when it comes to the full moon. Okay, guys. And yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate the support. And I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Bye.